Hi everyone and welcome to Blarney Castle and Gardens, and you can see this week we've started off down on the lake, and if you look over my right shoulder you can see why. We wanted to introduce you to some new arrivals. So we have had this particular pair of swans on the lake for 4 years now, I believe, and they were just youngsters when they arrived, and for 2 years they tried to hatch batches of eggs, but nothing came, and we were starting to give up on them last year, and then they managed to hatch successfully. So this is their second successful batch, and record numbers. We've 7 cygnets, and Paul's been out filming over the course of the day so we could get some good shots of them, but it's absolutely beautiful to see them here out on the lake, and we weren't sure whether they'd put in an appearance for the video itself, so we're lucky that the timing worked out very well, and they're here now in their glory. So literally only about 5 days old, they're only just off the nest, and it's delightful to see them out. We've also, a couple of batches of ducklings arrived around the same time too, so keep your eyes open for them. But new life on the lake, and we're very happy to show it to you. So we're going to pop into the wall garden after this. I'm going to introduce you to Olive and Mike, who are going to take you through some of the seasonal jobs that are going on in there at the moment, and obviously not forgetting plant of the week. So I think after a few more shots of the swans and the cygnets, we'll head over to the wall garden. See you shortly. So we're now in our walled kitchen garden, and you'll see in the distance behind me Mike and Olive are beavering away, so we're going to head down to them, and there's a lot going on at the moment. It's a busy time of year. Hopefully they can take us through some of what they're up to. So I'll hand you over to Olive now.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to the wall garden. Very busy here at the moment. I suppose it's an in-between time of the year where the temperatures are low at night and it gets very warm during the day. So hopefully the worst of the cold weather is gone at night, and we're hoping to start planting out here tomorrow. We have a group of volunteers coming in tomorrow, and I'm hoping to get some onion sets that we've planted in modules, so they're grown on a bit already, planted out into the ground. So we're trying to do more no-dig where we can. And what we did in this bed is we put down cardboard over the whole bed. We didn't dig it over after the crops in it last year. We get cardboard from Killian in the bike shed, so thanks very much Killian for the cardboard. We're recycling the big sheets. And then we put down some peat that has been used for the bedding up in the farm, so it's enriched with manure. It's recycled from the farmyard animals, and pats of our own chipped bark from the forest in between. So the beds are 1.2 metres wide, because that way it's easy to access them from both sides, and the pats are about 0.5 of a metre wide, and we're going to plant down in through, well, I have a layer, it's a couple of inches deep of the peat, so I'll be planting into that and let the roots get down themselves. The cardboard will have rotted, so we're going to see how that goes. Hopefully it's going to make life a bit easier, eliminate a lot of weeding, and much better for the structure of the soil if we don't disturb it too often. So planting brassicas in this bed and onions in the bed beyond. So if you look at this bed, this one was resting last year, so we just put cardboard and a layer of bark over it, so I won't be putting a whole pile of nutrient on it, because the onions don't require a lot of feed, whereas the brassicas are a leafy crop. They require high nitrogen. So so hopefully get planting tomorrow, and going to put some sweet pea around this pergola, so maybe the next time that you're in the wall garden we can have a look here again, and it'll be planted out and hopefully full of lovely luscious green crops. So I'm going to hand you over to Mike now, who's going to talk to you a little bit about what he's doing in the wall garden growing veg. Thanks very much. See you soon. Bye.
Right, thanks Olive, thanks for that. So there's another area where our recycling materials is here in our orchard. This is a newly planted orchard here which we planted in the winter of 2020. And what we're recycling here is bicycle tubes. So we're using these as a new form of strapping the apple trees onto the stakes. So from one bicycle tube I got about 3 ties. So just simply tie it around your apple tree onto the stake and one screw, and that's what we're using here now at the moment. And or the winter just gone, it survived all the storms we had, so we're very happy with that, and it's recycling something that would have been thrown away to waste. So that's from the orchards. So now next I'll show you what's happening in our root crop bed just over the other side of the wall garden. Right, so this is our root crop bed for the year, and I've just a few crops sown here already. So as you can see there's a few swades, there's a line of swades, there's a line of turnip, 2 or 3 lines of different types of beetroot such as Pablo and Egyptian flat top, and I have 1 or 2 rows of carrots put in. So they were just put in there about a week or 2 ago, and now in a couple more weeks I'll put in a few more rows of carrots and beetroot so that the sowing time is staggered, so when we harvest it'll also be staggered. Each crop is roughly about a foot apart, and then this is a new device which we got there last year. It's a precision sower, so it's a great little machine. So you can put your seed in here, and then for certain crops it'll space them out evenly, which I find great for the carrots, because with the carrots you have to tin them, and when you tin them you usually get carrot root fly in, and that can cause a lot of damage. Whereas with this, they're already sown to the perfect spacing, so that eliminates hopefully that pest of a carrot root fly, and it's just great. It spaces out all the crops, and it saves a lot of work in the long run, and it's a great little machine to have. So next now I'll move you on to the potato patch. So here then we have the early varieties of spuds put in. So as you can see there's Home Guard, and there's Charlotte and Casablanca. So they were planted there maybe about a month or 6 weeks ago. So as you can see there, we've them covered from the frost because they're already shooting up, and the frosts can cause a lot of damage to early potatoes. So we've just EnviroMesh, which is great for covering, keeps away the frost. And with the EnviroMesh you can also use that on brassica crops, and that'll keep out your white butterfly, which lays the eggs for the caterpillar which eats your brassicas. So it's great for brassicas as well, but I'm using it here on the potato crop, try and keep away the frost, which we've had a lot of frost over the last few weeks. So there are the early varieties. So now hopefully at the end of this week I'll be putting in the main crop. So the rest of this bed will be covered in main crop potatoes, such as your roosters, your cur pinks, your golden wonders, and hopefully they won't be getting hit by frost, because the frost also can cause a lot of damage in our orchard, and that happened last year where a lot of the blossoms got hit by frost, and we had a poor enough apple crop last year, and we believe the frost had a lot to do with that. So hopefully our apples and our spuds won't be hit this year, and we'll have a bumper crop again. So now I'd just like to hand you over to our plant sales area for their plant of the week. Thank you.
Well, good morning folks. Thanks a million once again for clicking in on the plant of the week link. Today's one's an absolute cracker. Really popular in Ireland, but some people are scared of it because it ideally likes shade, okay? So when you're buying Lily of the Valley, as this little guy is with its lovely broad strap leaf and tiny little flowers, bell-shaped flowers. When you're buying Lily of the Valley, just be a little bit conscious that it likes shade or semi-shade. And you should probably get a little look there at the beautiful kind of bell type flower. Okay, emits a beautiful kind of musty smell as well. Very, very nice. Will spread well, will come back year on year, and is ideal around the base of, say, a tree or a clump of trees, and a lovely bright berry in autumn time as well. Okay, so a staple in any garden, and it's pretty non-fussy on soil, but likes as I say, shade or semi-shade really. So yeah, lily of the valley, plant of the week. Come and get it.
So that's it for this week, and I just wanted to finish again in the bluebells because they're still holding at the moment. There's great colour through the woods with the bluebells and the wild garlic. Hopefully some of you will get in over the next few days to see it while it's still such a great show. We've a few good things coming up over the next few weeks. We're going to be visiting the farm, seeing some of the new arrivals and what's going on up there, catching up with James, and hopefully get a sneak peek into the bees as well. And maybe when Shawnee's actually working on one of the hives, we can get up close, and if Paul's willing to risk himself, get some good shots there as well. So we'll see you soon. Thanks.